Have you ever wondered how deep corruption can run within seemingly ordinary companies? Today, we're diving into one of the largest kickback cases Singapore has ever seen, a case that affects the livelihoods of dozens of migrant workers and reveals the greed that can thrive behind closed doors. Stay with us as we unravel this shocking story. Welcome back to 2230. Today we explore a major case that unfolded in Singapore involving kickbacks and corruption. Ho Chiak Hock Derek, a 55-year-old operations manager, was sentenced to 24 weeks imprisonment on the 14th of November 2024 for collecting kickbacks totaling an astonishing 396,440 Singapore dollars from 57 migrant workers. What makes this story even more shocking is that the illegal payments ranged from as little as $1,500 to a staggering $15,500 per worker, all for the promise of renewing work permits or ensuring continued employment with the company. If you're just joining us, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our in-depth news coverage that goes beyond the headlines. Your thoughts matter too. Drop a comment as we go along because we really want to hear from you. Ho Chiak Hock Derek worked for Lian Cheng Contracting Pte Limited, a company whose management had no idea what was happening right under their noses. He was an operations manager, trusted to keep things running smoothly, yet he abused this trust for his own financial gain, exploiting the vulnerability of migrant workers over the course of 6 years, between 2014 and 2020. Imagine the distress of these workers who came to Singapore in search of a better future, only to be taken advantage of by someone who was supposed to manage and help them. And here's where it gets even more complicated. Ho wasn't acting alone. He roped in a colleague named Rakibul, along with 3 migrant workers who held supervisory roles, Shamim, Newton and Ahmed Rana, to help him collect these illegal payments. The exploitation ran deep. These workers were manipulated into becoming accomplices, and it ended poorly for them. Rakibul, Shamim, Newton and Ahmed Rana have all been barred from further employment in Singapore. What do you think about the punishment? Is it fair that they too were punished, or were they victims just like the other migrant workers? The Ministry of Manpower (MOM) is taking this case very seriously, describing it as one of the largest kickback investigations they have conducted to date. Mr. Adrian Kwek, Divisional Director at MOM's Foreign Manpower Management Division, reiterated the government's zero-tolerance stance towards kickbacks, emphasizing that demanding payments from workers as a condition of employment is not only reprehensible but also illegal. MOM has pledged to continue its efforts in taking down those who exploit workers. This includes barring violators from applying for or renewing work passes. So the message is clear: if you're planning on exploiting your workers, expect serious consequences. It's commendable that MOM is cracking down, but is it enough to deter such practices in the future? Or is more systemic change needed? Let us know what you think in the comments. For the migrant workers involved, MOM has set up support and reporting channels. If you're a worker who thinks you might be forced into paying illegal kickbacks, you can call MOM or visit their official website for assistance. The Migrant Workers Center is also there to help, and they have an open line for workers who need support. And it's not just for workers, the general public is also encouraged to report illegal practices. Your information will remain confidential, and you could play a vital role in bringing justice to those who need it. Now, what can we take away from this? The exploitation of vulnerable workers is a major issue, and it doesn't just affect the individuals directly involved, it affects the entire community. Ho's actions have shone a light on just how prevalent such exploitation can be, even in a place like Singapore, which prides itself on being a fair society. How can we prevent such cases from happening again? Should there be more regular audits or perhaps even more substantial penalties? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Was Ho's punishment of 24 weeks enough given the scale of his exploitation, or do you think it should have been more severe? And what about the system? What else can be done to protect vulnerable workers? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more in-depth stories like this one. This is 2230, bringing you the stories that matter.